working now. So for the singly linked list part, what we are going to do is create two structs. One of them is the singly linked list itself, and the second struct will be the singly linked list node. So let me create two structs, which is singly linked list. This is the first one, and the second one would be its nodes. So singly linked list node. So that's a simple struct that we can have. So we are gonna use integer as the data for our singly linked list. So I'm gonna write data having a type of integer, and it every node, as we see that in the singly linked list, every node is linked to another node. So how it will link to another node? It will be linked by having a pointer to the next node of it. So we are gonna store the pointer of the next node. So there we go, and we are ready with our singly linked list node. Now let's move forward to the singly linked list itself. So the linked list will hold two pointers. The first one will point to the head of the linked list, and the second one will point to the tail of linked list. So what is head and tail? So head is the first ever element that's been added to the list, and the tail is the last element that's been added to the list. So let's create those by having a pointer to them, and tail is equals to single linked list. So now we are ready with our basic structure of our single linked list. Now what we are going to do is implement a method which will be named as add. So by the name suggests, as the name suggests, it will help us to add data to our list. So there we go, and in here we are gonna have a pointer to our list so that we can modify our list also. Oops. Yeah. So there we go. Now what we are gonna do in here is create a new node, and we will heap allocate it and assign, and now we will modify the data of it. So the new node will have a data of the data that we have got into the function by its argument, and the second one is the next node dot next pointer, which will be nil, because this is the last element and it will point to null, or we can say nil in the Golang language. Now we have got our node, and before adding to our list we need to check some edge cases of the list. So there are basically three edge cases. The first one is when we have no elements in the list, so the element count is zero, we can say. The second case is we have one element and the second element is being assigned to the tail of list. And the third case is just a normal case where we need to just create a new node and swap it with the tail. And before that we need to point that previous tail to the next element, the or we can say the new node. So we are gonna do is what we are gonna do is just check for the edge cases. So if the head of list is null, or we can say nil, so that means the list is empty, and in that case we are going to assign the head of list as our new node, and the tail also we need to assign it to the new node. Why? Because the head and tail, these both are going to be same because there is only one element in the list, and we have covered the first case. For the second case, we are going to check if the tail of list is nil or not. So if the tail of the tail of list is nil, that means we have only one element and we need to add second element. So in that case, we are gonna just point our head's next node to our new node, and just assign our tail as the new node, or we can write it another way which will be more understandable, like we will keep it. Let me comment this out and write it the new way. So we are going to assign the tail as our new node, and our head will point to the tail. So I think this way it's more understandable by other, or we can say fellow programmers of ours. And we have covered the second case by now. Now the turn is for the last case, which is the normal case, that we are adding a new element to our list. So in that case, whatever the last element of the list, which will be tail, we are gonna point the next pointer of it to our new node, and just simply change our list uh, tail to the new node. That's it. We are done with adding new elements to our list. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Let me just drop it down. So let's test our list. So let me create a new list, which is singly linked list, and there we go. And what I'm gonna do is add just two, or we can say 2 to 3 elements of to the list, and see if that compiles and works. Yeah, that's working fine, but we have not got any result. Why? Because we haven't done anything to get to printing. So we are gonna do uh, make what we are gonna do is create a new function in the list structure, which will just print the list, and it will return nothing, and it will just print the list. So for that I'm gonna create a while like loop. So because Golang has only for loop, so in that or I think creating a for loop is better. So in that I will create a new variable, which is called new node, and it will initially be our list head. So we will start from head, go until the current node goes to nil, until the current node is not nil, and every iteration the current node will be assigned to the next node of the current. So there we go, and we are gonna just print the data of the current. So I think that's good enough. So let's run this to check we haven't mistakenly written anything, and let's just print the list. And there we go. I guess we got the results. So there we go. We have 20, 30, and 40. Now I think you got the point what we have done in here. So now let's add a new method, which is called pop. So what this pop method will do is just remove the last element of the list. So for the last element to be removed, what we are gonna do is just uh, loop until we get to the last element, so that we can get the second last element. Okay, so yeah, so I think we got the same for loop again, but this time we are gonna run until the current node, until uh, I think we need to extract this current node variable, because we are gonna need this current node variable outside our for loop. So there we go, and until we are gonna uh, let me just run this. uh, yes, so every iteration we are gonna set the current node to the next, and if if the current node is equals to our tail, the tail of our list, then we are gonna simply break the loop. And if the current node is our tail, so uh, we are uh, wait, let me just think. So in here we are gonna check for the next element of that. If the next element of the current node is our tail, That means we are at the second last element of the list. So at this point, when we are at the 40th line of our code, we got we have got our last element. So what we are gonna do is just simply assign our tail as the current node. I think that's good enough. So let me just print the list before popping, and after printing this we will pop the element and print the list again. So if everything goes well, our last element, which is 40, should be removed, and our list should be printed as 20 and 30 only. So let me just run this and see if we get the results or not. It's compiling now. Let's wait for it. So we haven't got the results. Let me see. Oh yeah. So for the current node, we haven't set the next node of the current node to be nil. And if we don't set that, the list will move forward because the the node, the tail of our list before swapping still exists. So we need to remove that. And in Golang, have no, if we have nothing pointing to a variable, the Golang language will automatically free that variable from our memory. So if we are in C++, we need to manually run the free command and write in here the tail of our list to just remove it from the memory. But in Golang, whenever the reference of the variable, which is in case our list tail variable, the variable will be removed automatically from the memory, so we do not need to free that. So let me just run this again, and hopefully we will get the results. And yes, we got the results. So first time the list has printing like 20, 30, 40, and the second time after popping the element, our list is printed as 20 and 30 only. So I think we have got the results of our popping. So yeah, there we go. And what I'm thinking is no. What I'm thinking is just implement a method which will just check for the list if it is cyclic or not. So what the concept of cyclic linked list is that the last element, in some way or the another, the last or any middle element will point to the head of list or any other element inside the list. So we are going to check that. But I think that's not good for this video because this is a basic video. So I think yeah, that's the end of it.